FIFA completely changed the World Cup, and almost nobody noticed. There was no big announcement, no flashy press conference, no scandal on the back pages. Just one quiet new rule slipped into the biggest tournament on the planet, and it has already flipped results, ended careers worth of dreams in a single moment, written one nation's entire history in seconds, and handed FIFA a weapon it can use against any team it wants, in any game, whenever it feels like it. Players hate it. Coaches are furious about it. Fans are screaming that they're being robbed. And the wildest part? Most of the people watching at home still have no idea it's even happening. So what is this rule? How does one tiny change hand FIFA this much power over who wins and who loses? Stick with me, because once you see how this thing actually works, you will never watch the final minutes of a football match the same way again. Here's the rule, or really, the whole new philosophy behind it. For decades, the stoppage time board was a thing fans dreaded. The fourth official would hold it up, 10, 11, 12 minutes or more, and the whole stadium would groan because everybody knew they were in for an eternity of nervy, dragged-out football. That was the last World Cup. In Qatar in 2022, FIFA's referees chief Pierluigi Collina told his officials to add absolutely everything back on. Every injury, every VAR check, every celebration, and matches ballooned to an average of more than 100 minutes. Some ran 117 minutes. It was chaos, and a lot of people hated it. So for 2026, Collina completely flipped the strategy, and this is the change almost nobody clocked. Instead of policing the clock at the end, he went after the time wasting at the source. His logic was simple. If you stop players dragging out the boring stuff, you don't need to add it all back later. You just give that time straight back to the game. So he brought in a whole arsenal of new measures. A 5-second countdown on goal kicks and throw-ins. Take too long and the other team gets a corner. A 10-second clock on substitutions. And the big one? Any player who goes down and needs treatment from the physio now has to stay off the pitch for a full minute, leaving their team a man down. His phrase for the whole plan? Players will respect the limit. The goal, in his words, was to increase the tempo and eliminate the disruption, to stop teams killing the game. And here's the part that complicates everything, because on paper, it's working. The 5-second rule has only cost one team so far, when Congo dawdled over a goal kick against Portugal and got punished with a corner. Substitutions now happen in seconds. Players are being waved off the pitch the moment they go down. Games genuinely flow better. And the numbers back it up where it counts. This World Cup has the ball actually in play for over 59% of the match, higher than Qatar, and higher than Russia, even though the matches themselves are shorter. Strip out the hydration breaks, and games are averaging around 96 minutes instead of 100 minutes plus. More real football in less total time. That's the pitch, and it's a good one. But here's where it gets dangerous, because there's a flip side to that shiny stat that FIFA is very happy for you to overlook. Because think about what those minutes actually mean. Cast your mind back to 2022, the old way, when FIFA added everything on. England against Iran ran a staggering 117 minutes, the longest group stage match in World Cup history, with 27 minutes added across the two halves. The Wales vs. USA game had over 14 minutes of stoppage time. And those weren't just curiosities. In that same tournament, Iran beat Wales by scoring 2 goals in stoppage time, turning a 0-0 grind into a 2-0 win in minutes that, under today's rules, might never have existed at all. Whole results, whole nights of glory born in time that the old approach handed back to the players. One pundit at the time complained it was like adding extra rounds at the end of a boxing match, but that extra round is exactly where football's greatest drama lives. And here's the thing, that drama is still happening, even with the clock tightened. Look at Qatar's opener against Switzerland. They were beaten, dominated, outshot completely. The Swiss racked up more than 3 expected goals to Qatar's barely 1. And Qatar trailed 1-0 with the match basically over. Then, in the 4th minute of stoppage time, the 94th minute, Qatar's captain rose up and forced the ball into the Swiss net. The score became 1-1. And that wasn't just a point. That was Qatar's first ever point in World Cup history, snatched in stoppage time. Or take Portugal versus Congo, where Yoan Wissa's equalizer came in first half stoppage time. That goal started Portugal's whole nightmare and held one of the favorites to a draw. These are not garbage time moments. They are tournament-defining, and they happen in the exact minutes FIFA is now quietly shaving off the board. So that's the upside and the chaos. Now here is the part FIFA really does not want you to notice. Because if stoppage time is now this powerful, this decisive, this capable of flipping results and making history, then who controls it? And is it actually being applied fairly? The answer, increasingly, is no. And fans are starting to do the math themselves. One supporter sat down and actually timed the Mexico versus South Africa opener, and he added up every delay, every stoppage, every injury, every VAR review. By his count, that match should have had around 13 minutes of stoppage time. FIFA gave it less than 7. Less than 7. Nearly half the time that should have been played, gone. Vanished. Where did it go? And that is the scandal hiding inside this rule. FIFA sold you the idea that this was about accuracy, about giving you every second you are owed. But if a game that should run 13 minutes over only gets 7, then this was never about accuracy at all. It is about control. FIFA gives the time when it suits the broadcast, the schedule, the show, and quietly swallows it when it does not. There is no transparency. There is no published breakdown. There is just a number on a board that a man on the sideline holds up. And you are expected to trust it. The same organization that would not show you the offside line, that would not explain the empty seats. Now it is the sole keeper of how long the game even lasts. And it is robbing time from the very tournament it promised to give more of. So put it all together. FIFA brought in a rule that, on the surface, makes the game faster and fairer, and in some ways genuinely does. But the same system that lets them tighten the clock also lets them control it, handing time back when it makes a good show, and quietly swallowing it when it does not. Those dying minutes are where football's greatest drama lives, important enough to make Qatar's entire World Cup history happen in the 94th minute. And FIFA has made itself the sole judge of exactly how many of them you get. The most powerful minutes in the sport, controlled by the one organization that has spent this entire tournament proving it cannot be trusted with anything. Football has always lived and died in the dying seconds, the last gasp equalizer, the 94th minute winner, the moment that breaks your heart or saves your life. That magic is real, and this rule has produced more of it than ever. But magic is only magic if it is fair. And right now, the clock at the World Cup is not being run by the referee or by the game or by the players. It is being run by FIFA. And they have already shown you they will take your minutes whenever it suits them. So next time you are watching a match crawl toward the 90th minute, keep one eye on that board and ask yourself whether the number on it is the truth or just the number FIFA wants you to see. So what do you think? Is the new stoppage time rule the best thing about this World Cup, or just another way for FIFA to control the show? Drop it in the comments and subscribe if you do not want to miss World Cup coverage.